Well, good evening, America, and welcome to It's Happening Out. This is the most popular live gay television show in the world, and it's 8 p.m. on Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020, and I'm your host and moderator, Al Ferguson. But tonight is a unique evening. When we tell you it's this week in September, we go back 2 years. It has this week been the 2-year anniversary of It's Happening Out. And in recognition of our anniversary, it's almost strange to me. We have been in quarantine lockdown for almost 7 months, maybe even, 7 months now. And we have 2 people on set tonight here in South Florida, host of It's Happening Out, and you can see they're not pixelated. We're not having difficulty. We won't be hopefully having difficulty hearing them because they're sitting here at the set. First, let me introduce our military man, who I make the joke is a loser and a sucker, or at least that's what I read in the headlines, and that is Power Infiniti. Good evening, Power.
Good evening. First of all, since we are live, I'll just be transparent about the fact that I have some earphones in and I can't hear Al at all, which usually is a good thing, but I'll probably be struggling throughout this broadcast, but it's whatever.
All right, I'll try to talk directly to you and loud enough. We are still socially distancing here on the set, so I'll talk clearly for you. All right, and also with us tonight for the first time in forever is Aaron Phoenix. Good evening, Aaron.
Hello, good evening, good evening. You know, these masks are giving me a problem because I already have resting bitch face. And now that people can't see my little smirk, they have no idea where I'm coming from.
We're only into this 1 minute and 20 seconds. You have not smirked at me yet.
Well,
that's almost a record.
I don't smirk at you anyway, in all fairness, Al.
Wait, was that a read? I'm a little rusty.
I missed you too, Al.
Yes, exactly. And tonight we are also joined again by Mo Laredo. He has background in military and law enforcement and has been a long-time studio audience participation with us during various filmings. He hung around the back door waiting for Power Infiniti to come out into the alley of It's Happening Out. And we thought, well, let's have him on as a host. Welcome, Mo.
Howdy, howdy. It's great to be back.
Yes, and you're here on our 2-year anniversary.
Very nice, very nice. I've been watching you guys for a while. Probably was there at every Bubbles and Pearl filming.
Yeah, and speaking of Bubbles and Pearls, Chef Josie couldn't be with us tonight because she's doing this little thing called running for mayor, you know, that little thing. And but we're thinking about you tonight on our 2nd anniversary. We're going to show you some special features of our 2 years at It's Happening Out. So welcome again, America. We are going to have fun and an entertaining show, and we thank you for joining us. And it's time to get started with It's Happening Out. Before we begin, we want to tell you about a sponsorship that we're doing that's very interesting for the LGBTQ community. Happening Out Television Network is a sponsor of the Miami Men's Wellness Conference. It is designed to celebrate National Gay Men's HIV and AIDS Awareness Day in the age of COVID-19 era, as we direct attention to the continuing and disproportionate impact of HIV on gay and bisexual men in the United States, and convened by the Miami Collaborative, a national event for an MSM work group and its community partners. The 2020 Miami Men's Wellness Conference is a unique community-based HIV prevention conference addressing the needs of men who have sex with men in South Florida. And this can be a model for all of our audience all over America and the world. Guests will be able to attend 6 free HIV prevention virtual workshops as invigorating and insightful panels of experts discuss topics such as transitioning to online services and staying in touch with your doctor, improving our conversations with people who use drugs, safer sex practices in the age of COVID, and many more. Tonight we are joined by Marco Torrealba. He is the program director of Prevention 305. Andre Sosa, who is with the Miami Youth HIV Prevention Lead at Latinos Salud. Paul Seligman, the Prep Services Coordinator at Care Resources, and Mark Puccinelli, postdoctoral associate, at the University of Miami and Health Promotion at Care HPAC Lab. Welcome, gentlemen, and we're excited to help support the Men's Health Awareness Conference. Somebody tell us a little bit about what's going to happen starting tomorrow on Thursday and Friday on this groundbreaking first ever virtual event.
So technically, I'm gonna take the lead just a little bit. We're gonna have 2 full days of education in HIV prevention. All the options that are available for people, especially as you said, this is a celebration. This is something that we are doing for the people, for the community in Miami, and also trying to make HIV prevention more like an entertainment for the audience or the people that wants to participate. They can try to find the event on Facebook through Gay Vista Social Club, who is also participating and integrating the community to this event. We're going to be talking about telemedicine, what's going on right now with telemedicine. Everybody's going to the phone and video conference like right now. We're going to be talking about it and how to take the most advantage we can from these services.
Explain to me, gentlemen, the different organizations that are coming together in this collaborative effort. Explain what the organization types are. People all over the country might not be familiar with Care Resource as a name or Latino Salute. Explain how you're coming together to work together for this Men's Health Conference.
Certainly. So Latino Salute was founded in 2008 and provide free HIV and STD tests for the gay and bisexual men in our community. And we work closely with the MSM collaboration with other organizations like Care Resource to better coordinate with each other and provide these services without interfering, and so that we can go steadily along and help everybody as best as we possibly can.
And your conference starts tomorrow, Thursday, September 24th. It's a 2-day conference. And people that are watching all over the country and here in South Florida, they can register. They can come into your Facebook page to register for the conference. There's no fees or charges to participate. Do I have that correct?
Yes, that's
correct. Yeah.
It's totally free for the community.
And tell us about who the principal sponsors are of the 2020 Men's Health Conference.
Well, in this case, I will say you are one of those sponsors, and thank you very much for this space. Gay Vista Social Club is one of our biggest allies in this conference. But I will say that this is an event organized by the Florida Department of Health in Miami. And I will say, like, every agency that is participating here is giving something to the community, and it's making this possible. It's making this Miami Men's Wellness Conference happen. So one of those organizations is HPAC from University of Miami, that I believe they're going to be talking about substance abuse in the city of Miami and how to prevent, how to use the harm reductions to reduce the new cases of HIV infection, right, doctor?
Excellent.
Yeah, hi, this is Mark. I'm in the Health Promotion and Care Lab. I'm a researcher and psychologist there. And we do research into the sexual and gender minority community, and we mostly focus on HIV prevention and health. I believe the people who are going to be talking about harm reduction are from the IDEA clinic, the IDEA Needle Exchange Clinic, which is part of University of Miami, like we are as well. And but we all have a similar focus, and we collaborate on a lot of different interventions and things that impact people's physical health and their mental health, and of course substance use, minority status, and a lot of other issues do contribute to that. And so we're just happy to be part of this.
Excellent. And America, we again remind you, South Florida, this is a unique first time ever virtual event. This has not been done virtually, which means you don't have to be here in South Florida to participate in all of these valuable workshops focusing on gay men's health and the HIV medical issues related to it. PrEP, etc. So we encourage you, go to the 2020 Miami Men's Health Conference on Facebook, and or you can come to It's Happening Out, and we'll help you with the link. The registration is free, and all kinds of different workshops that you can participate on. We wish you all of the success, and we thank you for participating with us on our second anniversary at It's Happening Out. Thank you, gentlemen. So good evening again. You are watching the world's most popular live gay television show. So many of your stories and the issues of our history of the last 2 years are going to be next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out.
I know we've been talking so much all year long about diversity in country music and the lack of representation, and I know you've always...
Our new game, Saved by the Bell. It's all happening out tonight. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter with your host, reality TV star, Chef Josie, trans activist, Erin Phoenix, DJ Diva Power Infiniti, and our moderator, Ferguson. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, welcome back, and we are live. As you can tell, this is an unedited show. We just went to 4 health professionals on the major U.S. Men's Health Conference that's going to start tomorrow, and now we're here at It's Happening Out. Because we are live and this is unedited, anything can happen, and we hope it does. I'm going to poke power in various different ways to tell you about a little bet that we have, and you'll see why I love it being live. The world's most popular gay television show is celebrating its 2nd anniversary. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe or click the bell for updates. If you're on Facebook, like and share the video and start a watch party. It's super easy. Here's how you do it. Watch this.
When viewing our live show in your app, please click share. After clicking share, your screen should change and you can then click watch party. On the next screen, you can write text to your viewing audience and then click start watch party. You've done it. Enjoy your party.
Well, let's begin at the start of the show the same way that we have done for 2 years. Power, you don't look a day over 2 years.
Well, what can I say? Black.
Right. Our meme of the week. Let's have some fun tonight as we begin with our meme. I haven't seen this. When the maintenance guy isn't fixing anything and you don't care. Well, let's see what this meme's about. Watch this. Yeah, that works. It still works.
More importantly, when the maintenance guy can't dance and you still
If I'm paying for him to do something, it better not be that. At least, you know.
Does he really need to know how to dance, though?
Yeah, pay him for some rhythm.
Yeah. Mo, does that happen in your house?
No, I'll start breaking stuff around the house.
Okay, all right. Clearly, nobody would mind if the maintenance guy was slacking off on the job. Let's continue and play our yes or no game. We always, at the top of It's Happening Out, this is one of the original games that we did. On our first episode, September 20th, 2018, we played this game, I'd Swallow That. We suspended it for a while because Power got so drunk in the game and fell out of his chair. Oh wait, that might have been something else. I'm not sure.
That was Napoleon. Somebody else might ask.
Our hosts,
call it out.
Exactly, are going to be asked 4 questions. If they agree, they're going to take the shot. If they disagree, they don't take the shot. And we ask all of you at home to participate right along with us. You'll learn a lot about yourself and everybody around us. Everybody ready? Then let's play I'd Swallow That. Question number 1. I'd swallow that. Happy Celebrate Bisexuals Day. I would date a bisexual.
Down.
Wait, does bisexual mean you'll try anything twice? That's what that means, right?
I know Al ain't taking that shot.
I did take it.
I know Al can't be taking the shot because Al doesn't believe in bisexuality.
You know, we had that conversation in our 2 years of history of when I started the show. Nope, it didn't exist. It was an excuse for gays to not come out yet.
As a matter of fact, we have that footage. Jared Curry, can you roll it?
Oh, it would be so embarrassing. Mo, you took the shot?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in the closet till 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. Mo, by the way, is an Iraq war veteran.
And Afghanistan.
And you have just retired from military service?
Last Wednesday.
Yeah, last Wednesday. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you.
And on behalf of the entire LGBT community, we thank you for doing what Donald Trump would never do. Aaron, you took the shot?
Of course I took the shot, yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit of both genders anyway as it is, so you kind of have to have at least a little wiggle room if you're going to get down with me.
And how many bisexuals have you gulped the shot down, Power? How many bisexual men? Oh, wait, it was bisexual women, wasn't it?
Oh, no, strictly dickly here, but definitely bisexual, pansexual, trisexual. If it's dick and I can guzzle it, I've done it.
As long as they're into you.
Okay, that's why It's Happening Out existed for 2 years. It's those kind of sound bites. Let's move on to question number 2. I'd swallow that. I've done wildly inappropriate things at work, but not at my current workplace. Of course, wink, wink.
What if you're hired to do wildly inappropriate things?
Well, tell us what those wildly inappropriate things would be, Aaron.
I'm not sure if I could take the shot because I might have done wildly inappropriate things at this place of work too, depending on what you consider wildly inappropriate.
That's what we're asking you. You know this is a talk show. You haven't been at the set in a while, but we talk and we tell stories. You remember?
That involves human interaction, and I'm really enjoying this contactless world we've been living in, you know.
No, I'm not going to talk. All right, well, it'll be fun. There's going to be lots of memes then. Aaron Phoenix sitting through the 2nd anniversary show, not speaking. Have you done anything inappropriate at work?
I mean, absolutely. Like I said, being hired to be inappropriate is helpful.
What does that mean?
Oh, Al.
Oh, Al.
Oh, Al.
We have to draw it out for you.
We'll talk later about the adult industry.
Yes, could you draw me a picture, please? Or, yeah, all right. And Power,
on the doll.
You've done inappropriate things?
Well, I took the shot because I wanted an excuse to drink, but I mean, I've been a nightlife personality for, almost 30 years. I don't really know what in nightlife can be considered inappropriate. I have sucked dick on stage. I have eaten ass on stage. For most jobs, that would be considered wildly inappropriate. For mine, it's just another Tuesday.
Girl same.
It's just another Tuesday. There's a great one. And Mo, in the military, and now you're a law enforcement officer, so you've retired from the military, but you are a sheriff or a police officer?
Work for the county.
Work for the county, okay.
We will be sheriff again.
Yes, okay. I
won't speak of my current job,
exactly.
But in the military, it's amazing how many straight boys kind of venture, speaking of bisexuality, even though they don't admit it, venture. I mean, deployments are long and lonely.
Mo,
So I do serve the country and my fellow soldiers sometimes.
would it be inappropriate to say that right now you, the soldier, I'm running a film in my head right now? Would that be?
You are not the first. Everyone, that's a first question they ask. Is
Really?
like, how is it in the barracks? How is it? I'm like, it's just how you think it is.
Yeah.
You know,
So in some ways, there's still a don't ask, don't tell.
yes, correct.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Number 3, I'd swallow that. I love it when it's really long. I haven't finished the question.
Oh, that was. Carry on.
But this summer, it has been taken way too far. I love it long, but the summer, it's been taken way too long, meaning the summer's too long. That's what we were talking about. Come on.
The summer's too long in Florida, first of all, because it's all year. But I feel like it's still February. Like, didn't we just freeze time when COVID started and 2020 doesn't count? We're just going to pick back up.
Yeah. And you took that shot instantaneously because long is an important adjective in your life?
Is a very important adjective, yes. That is a key word. That's what we like to call it.
Keyword. All right, keyword. And Power, did you take the shot? I'm sorry, I was concentrating on myself, which I mostly do.
Of course.
I missed it.
Of course. No, I didn't take the shot. Actually, for me, the summer went by really quick. I mean, we're in fall right now, correct? So, yeah, so, I mean.
2 days ago, dude.
Before I knew it, we were in fall. To me, it didn't go by very long.
And Mo,
Well, I paused on the long because I'm more about girth, but the summer did seem to take a long time without pool parties.
Mo, I'm learning so much about you tonight. I've known you for quite a while, but I'm learning about you. You don't need to hang out in that back alley for Power anymore. just telling you. Question number 4. I'd swallow that. I have seen things in dressing rooms I wish I could unsee.
Oh, my God.
Don't get me started on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, God.
Don't get me started on my own dressing rooms.
Right.
So that's a no for you, Mo, right?
I'm not in showbiz.
Okay, all right. There's no dressing room in your life. I'm going to finish with Power. Aaron, you've seen in dressing rooms?
The first thing that comes to mind is the first time that one of my friends who's a drag queen showed me and demonstrated for me how tucking works. And I wish forever and a day that I could unsee that. Suddenly, though, I didn't feel so bad about the whole not having a dick thing.
I have never asked this question ever before. 10 years at RuPaul's Drag Race, I've never asked this question. Aaron, Power, tell me. Because both of you have done drag, and Power does it a lot, but Aaron's done it too. Tell me, because I've never asked this question. The tucking thing. So if you are more than more, however you would define that.
Big dick, is that what you're trying to say, Al?
Okay. Is it a painful experience? Is the tucking experience easy, or is it not easy?
As we all turn to Power Infiniti.
I mean, I don't even understand why he's asking me this question, because every single time for the past 2 years that I've come to set and I've been tucked, I have been complaining loudly to the cast and crew that I want us to hurry up with the taping so I can untuck my log. So he knows that it's very painful, especially when you're sitting on it for
Power
like
calls
2-3
me out
hours.
at every turn. He always counts me
It's
out.
like sitting on a speed bump.
Did you just
roll.
refer to it as a log?
A log.
Oh my.
Yeah, okay. So it's painful, huh?
It can be painful if it's tucked for a while, a couple, 6 hours,
what about-
DJing or performing.
What about
yeah.
the Laffy Taffy part when they first do it? That part doesn't hurt? Because like it looked like it would hurt.
No, that part doesn't really hurt, and especially if you're sitting down, like when I have to sit down to film this, and you're sitting on it, that's what it feels like, a log.
First off, 2 observations to Power. First, does it make me a bad person to have never heard you that you were in pain and not care at all? Does that
Yes.
make me a bad person?
Yes, yes, it does. And that among other things.
Exactly. And second, do you think I would be very good at tucking?
Well, Al boasts that he has a log of his own, but I don't believe it, so you'd probably be great at it.
Oh, we went there.
All right, we're live. Here we go. All right, let's move out of...
Wait, you didn't ask me what I've seen in dressing rooms, and this is something that I'm quite sure you would be very interested in.
I will be.
At my old residency, Liquid in Tampa, we booked a lot of the RuPaul girls, and one of the RuPaul girls, after her show, was doing shots with some of the other drag queens and some of the dancers, and did a particular shot I've never seen before, where she put the alcohol in the foreskin of her dick and then let it drip into a cup, and then everybody took a shot out of it.
Oh my.
Yeah, foreskin shot.
Wow. I could have totally lived for the rest of my life without hearing that.
So what was that called? A cheesy vodka?
Yeah, cheesy vodka. Wait. Oh, and by the way, I have to say, a very interesting thing is happening. This is the first time in a while where I have done all 4 shots, and the vodka is definitely kicking in now. All right, let's move out of I'd Swallow That, and let's catch up on the news from Hollywood and the world of entertainment. And we always do a celebrity hot top. Wait, did you just do another shot? Did you just drop that in just quickly?
You know, you don't want to waste the good.
Right.
Not want none.
Okay, got it. Wait, say that again?
I said waste not, want none.
Yeah, that's it. And I totally agree with you. With our celebrity hot topics, we want to talk about Mickey Guyton. She becomes the first Black performer ever on the ACMs as she sings about accepting diversity. Watch this.
I know we've been talking so much all year long about diversity in country music and the lack of representation. And I know you've always said that you just really sing your truth. So what was going through your mind tonight while you were singing your truth on stage?
Well, first of all, I have 3 amazing Canadian songwriters that wrote this song with me: Victoria Banks, Emily, Karen Kosowski, who wrote and also produced it. And that, first of all, means so much to me. And just stand here and sing such a polarizing song on the ACM Awards about protecting our future, protecting our daughters, protecting women, because we're so important and we matter. And it's just been such an honor to be able to stand here and be that to people.
Close to the house.
As I just said, in terms of the countdown. Let's review the words that we're talking about. Do you just let her pretend, her song says, that she could be the president? Would it help us get there any faster? Do you let her think the deck's not stacked, and gay or straight or white or black? You just dream and anything can happen. What are you going to tell her when she's wrong? Guyton's song at the Academy of Country Music Awards show last week, those were her words. What do y'all think? Wow.
That song is so deep. Those lines really struck a chord for me because, you know, as someone who has been very involved in a 12-year-old's life over the last couple of years, it is
kiddo.
Right?
Kiddo.
It's tough sometimes to navigate kind of these conversations about, you know, all these things that are happening. He sees the news, you know, he hears about at school what's happening with the Black Lives Matter protests, for example, or with Trump and all the things that are going on, or the things that happen to trans people being murdered. He hears all these things, and you want to raise a kid with a sense of innocence and just be able to go play, but you also want them to be really aware of these issues and to have a full understanding of them as they grow up. So it's hard to kind of figure out how to do that without ruining your child's, you know, sense of innocence. But this is the world we're living in, and we have to find
I'm curious, to this situation, which is clearly very unique in country music, do any of us have a sense of innocence in the world we're living in and watching?
Well, certainly not any of us in this room, if that's what you're asking.
What do y'all think about Guyton and the ACMs?
I would like to, another question I'd like to bring up is, how was it received? Does anybody know how it was received at the ACMs? Was it controversial, or have we come to a point in country music that this was something that was widely accepted?
A lot of country artists came out and gave her a lot of kudos. I'm not gonna pretend I saw it, but reading about it, I was like floored that, wow, it took 2020 to have a Black woman sing on the American Country Music Awards, which now it's kind of synonymous to Michael Jordan. I don't know if you heard, he bought a NASCAR team and he's having Bubba Wallace race. So it's amazing it took this long. Wow. But kudos to the Academy for pushing it.
You know, I'm curious. I want to modify the conversation just slightly because there's this school of thought going on in counter and subculture that in the world of Donald Trump, in the horrific atrocities that we're listening to from him, that it actually is going to propel gigantically positive things like Michael Jordan, like the ACAs, and in general in Black, Latino, women, and LGBT, we are going to have a new renaissance come out of Donald Trump. What do y'all think about that? Do you think it's true? Renaissance?
I'm seeing it in the streets, actually. As a law enforcement officer every day, and I work in the inner city, I have a lot of Black women and men come up to me and saying, thank you for what you do. And it's so refreshing to hear it. And because we're getting beat up every day, and for the public to come out in the inner city and telling us, hey, thank you for what you're doing in our neighborhoods and helping out, you know, we're with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What do y'all think to that question? Are we going to see a renaissance come from
Yes.
the horrors that
We will.
Yeah.
We're a slow turning ship.
Fierceness is forged in fire, and the reason that, you know, a lot of communities of color have such talent when it comes to art and music and dance and things like that is because culture often grows out of adversity. And, you know, kudos to what is her first name? I forgot already. I'm sorry, I don't listen to country music a whole lot, but Mickey Guyton, kudos to her, because I can only imagine the number of obstacles and adversity she has had to face.
And the courage it took to become a country singer, you know.
Power, how do you react to her participation in the Country Music Awards?
I echo what Aaron had said, which is that we see these things despite a Trump era. Certainly not. I don't know if it's because of a Trump era, but I see that these things happen despite a Trump era. And it's always when humanity is up against the wall, when our spirit has beaten down, that you see the best of us rise up. So it's inspiring and hopeful to see this type of revolution in music and art.
Nice, and I completely agree with you. Before we move on to our next topic that we want to discuss, I just want to point out RBG was placed at the Supreme Court today, and I watched it live. Pete Williams, who is arguably the most important legal reporter in the world for NBC News, was reporting live on NBC this morning, and I commented on it. I was watching NBC to this point of the possibility of a renaissance. RBG might help us with that. As he was reporting on it, and the hearse passed right in front of the entrance of the Supreme Court to be moved to the portico, he first got choked up and he began to cry. And I posted, I began to cry. It's the first time on RBG that I cried. And I realized at that moment, as terrible a time this is, there's still hope. There's still hope. And whether it be a Black woman singing at the Country Music Awards, or Michael Jordan creating a NASCAR Black team, or whatever the issue might be, there's still hope. And I realized that today as I was listening to the old white guy who has seen everything. He is jaded because he has seen everything. Choke up of going, this person made a difference and likely is going to change the world. And if that happens, Renaissance happens.
Al, I thought you were the jaded old white guy who's seen everything.
Well, kind of number two.
I thought you had a claim to that.
And I think that's why it resonates where Joe Biden keeps bringing up the empathy. The empathy, we don't have that anymore. And that is a good call on him.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move out of our celebrity hot topic this week. First off, we want to thank the Best Western I-95 here in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale. They are a principal sponsor of It's Happening Out. Aaron and Power stayed at the Best Western. Were y'all welcome back as royalty? Did they throw rose petals again like the last time?
They do that for me everywhere I go.
Really?
Yes, it was great. Sherelle, my future ex-wife, up at the front desk, I missed you. you. The room, we got the suite that we're
Wow,
using.
you took the time to learn names.
Listen,
you
well,
really
I
are
took
human.
the time to learn her name.
Yeah.
And for me, I was greeted by Jasper today. Shout out to Jasper at the front desk, who was ever so gracious and wonderful. The red carpet was rolled out to me all the way down Commercial Boulevard. So my car drove in on streets of gold.
Wait.
It was just wonderful. Yes, like Aaron, I too got my regular suite. I am a bit bitter because Al said my line about the Best Western. That used to be my line, and of course he couldn't let me have it just for this one night.
Well,
back.
you know, dude, you would be able to command your lines if you were here on set.
Well, I'm here tonight, and you still stole it. So.
We love Best Western I-95, and thank you for taking such good care of Power Infiniti and Aaron Phoenix. We are also very proud to announce that we're broadcasting from our brand new set in partnership with the Sunshine Cathedral. We are, and this is really a great church, and here's the proof why. Tonight, both Aaron and Power walked through the doors and the place didn't go up in flames.
You took my line.
And more importantly, we walked through the door and we didn't go up in flames.
That's what I was expecting to happen.
It burns. Right. Oh my God, over 2 years, we have become so familiar with each other.
I'm just saying, this church must be tolerant of a lot more than just queerness around here, because otherwise me and Power would have been
That's right. Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins, who will be on Gay Town Hall tomorrow night, I'm going to play this soundbite back to you. You must really be tolerant. Exactly. This is the world's largest queer church right here in Fort Lauderdale, Wilton Manors, Florida. We always joke we are broadcasting from the gayest place on planet Earth. And with the addition of Mo tonight, we've accomplished it. Our support of the Sunday celebration is the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world. They broadcast every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live with the help of Happening Out Television Network. We encourage you to tune in because Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Athena Dion, drag performer known from performing on South Beach and in Mykonos, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
We'd also like to thank Concepto Modern Living. They are the providers of this set, and we thank them for their participation. Next up tonight on It's Happening Out, our production team pays attention to many of the things that we think are interesting on the internet and in social media. We call this segment Best Thing of the Week, and this is also a segment that appeared for its first time on our first episode on September 20th, 2018. So there's some history of this segment called Best Thing of the Week. So let's look at it. For our 2-year anniversary, something interesting happened this week, and it's called the Hokey Pokey, like you've never seen it before. Let's watch this.
Oh my.
Well, good night, America. Yep, that is Sexy John Duff putting the hoe in Hokey Pokey. Look for him on all platforms as I Am John Duff. What does everyone think of this new song?
I don't think I knew what was happening for a lot of that video, but I know I want to be invited to those parties.
Was it about rimming?
Was it about rimming? I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not sure.
It was about something delicious, I'm sure.
Delicious?
Like watermelon.
Like watermelon.
Produce, right?
There was a song there?
Mr. Infiniti?
It was cutesy or whatever.
All right, where's the remix, girl? When do we get to hear the Power Infiniti remix?
As I was watching that, I really miss fuck COVID-19. I miss our pool parties. And by the way, Los Angeles, by the way, Palm Springs, the best LGBT pool parties in America are here in South Beach. I'm just telling you, they are. Let's move on to our segment, What's on Your Mind? Each week, I ask the host to tell us in 30 seconds, remember, 30 seconds, what is important to them this week. And Power, let's start with you. What's on your mind?
Well, I came with something that I was going to talk about for What's on Your Mind, but I'm going to tear that up and just go off the cuff. I've been really doing some soul searching and a lot of Bible reading, and I have tried to conquer something that is a big challenge for me, probably the biggest challenge in my life, which is forgiveness. And so I am really, really working on that. As a matter of fact, this week I reached out to somebody that I have had a battle with for the last 3 years and just told them that I forgive them. And that opened the door to them wanting to reconnect, which I don't know if that will happen, but the forgiveness was for me and not for them. And so I feel a lot better. So that's my thing this week.
Beautifully said, and I forgive you too. And Mo, what's on your mind this week?
Actually, my son ships out to the Air Force, one of my boys, in November.
You're a daddy?
I am a daddy of twin boys, 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Can I see pictures?
Yeah, sure. They're gorgeous boys.
That they are.
Of course. But he ships out, and I am hoping that we will have a new commander-in-chief come November, so my son is not serving under Commander Cuckoo, you know.
Fear.
Yeah.
And you have the experience to understand that fear.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So.
And thank you. And Aaron Phoenix, what's on your mind this week?
Well, it's good to be back, first of all, in person, in the flesh. What's on my mind this week, I'd like to reintroduce myself. I'm Aaron. I'm a genderqueer trans man. And yes, you can be both of those things. Genderqueer, for anyone who doesn't know, is a form of non-binary. So just like the color wheel, the color spectrum, you can be anything in between, you know, red and blue, or red and green, or whatever. You can be turquoise, maroon, fuchsia. I'm kind of like a fuchsia or a turquoise. So just because I transitioned doesn't necessarily mean you can't be non-binary. And just because you're non-binary doesn't mean you reject male and female. There's a whole array of things in between.
You know, if I can take just a moment to draw back to our 2-year anniversary. When I started this show on September 20th, 2018, I was pretty good in terms of my support of the Black community. I think I was pretty good at it. I was not good with lesbians, in support of the lesbian community, and I think Chef Josie and others helping me over the last 2 years, because I've evolved. If there is one issue that I have evolved on, it is trans. Full stop. And Aaron is one of the people that has helped me understand the importance of the community, the uniqueness of the community, and while it is a micro percentage of our community, why it is so important to stand up for our community. If we do not stand up for the T and the reintroduction that Aaron just did, we're not an LGBT community. Full stop. And that's what's happened in the last 2 years, and it's happening out for me.
Can I just
Please.
say something? There's a bigger lesson to what you just said, something that's very important that we need to focus on, which is your growth and development with regards to lesbians and with regards to trans really came about because you were able to connect and get to know. And I think that is the basis and the hope for us winning the victory over racism and bigotry. Is the way that we surpass that is to actually get to know each other, because it's by getting to know each other that we break down those barriers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so hard to hate when they're right next to you.
Yeah.
So hard. Let's move on to our big topic that we want to talk about tonight. And of course, that's about our anniversary at It's Happening Out. Looking back of the last 2 years of It's Happening Out, well, actually, before I even say a word about it, let's watch this. He has thrown a phone.
It's Happening Out presents 10 Best Moments. January 17th, 2019, Power Infiniti says, I dare, when discussing closeted gays.
I'm going to be honest and say, maybe not so much.
You're going to be honest about what you think your opinion is.
Yes, well, of course it's my
again, your
well,
opinion.
of course it's my yes, of course it's yes, of course
their
it's my
journey
opinion.
is a journey.
Okay,
And how dare you tell other people what they are?
I dare.
Yes, I see that.
I dare.
And it's wrong.
Because when somebody comes to me with the conversation, when somebody comes to me with the conversation and wants my opinion, I dare to give it. Yes, I dare.
Points. No matter who you harm in the way.
Now what? Now what? Yes, I dare. You come to me, I dare.
I'm definitely trying to move on.
Okay.
September 20th, 2018. It's Happening Out makes its debut at Drink. October 31st, 2018. It's Happening Out presents the first ever live broadcast from Wilton Drive for the biggest gay Halloween party in Florida, Wicked Manners. Pride Fort Lauderdale live broadcast. February 24th, 2019.
Never, ever seen something like this. And it's all because of the community. Because of talented people like Carlos, because of all of you who are part of this community. People were just waiting for this opportunity to come out and express their feelings towards one another. And look at what you have here today. It's amazing.
Stonewall Pride Wilton Manors live broadcast. June 15th, 2019. December 18th, 2019. Joe Brookman storms off.
Good night.
Good
Joe.
night.
Good
I'm
night.
fed up with this.
And believe me, I am fed up with you. Now,
and
we're going to move on to Happening Now. Please turn his microphone off. Now, we move out of Happening Now, breaking news. And by the way, America, that was planned all day long. Since the host meeting, that was planned, that moment.
No, it's not.
He has thrown a phone across the...
I'd swallow that. January 10th, 2019.
Oh my God. All right. How about sex blank?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm curious. In that situation, many times over.
Shag, Marry, Chop. June 24th, 2020.
You're going to chop Rick because
his facial reaction was he looked a little too surprised when you said rough sex, and I don't need somebody who's beautiful.
Rick, you knew. Rick.
Me Too is a gay issue too. October 4th, 2018. The cast discusses suicide awareness. April 3rd, 2019.
So please, do what you can. Reach out to who you can. And if for those of us that are around people that are going through this, please do not make the mistake that I feel I made and take it lightly. Please take it very seriously, because this is a matter, literally, of life and death.
Power, I have to tell you, I'm very moved by your comments. I'm watching the string when you see literally 1,000 hearts that have been communicated. I have to tell you, I hear your...
Our host Ron's final blessing. March 18th, 2020.
To my friend Ron.
America, reach out to each other through whatever means. Tell them that you love them. Tell them that you care. Close your eyes and just pray for whatever God you believe in. Just take a little time. Smile, hug yourself, and say what a wonderful life you've got, regardless of all the chaos you're living in. You're going through it. God bless you. Buenas noches. Cuídese. Protect yourself.
This has been the 10 best moments from It's Happening Out. What were some of the best moments of the last 2 years that you remember? Share with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that button and ring that bell.
Wow.
That was a roller coaster ride, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who wants to start on that?
Don't all jump at once or anything.
Well, of all those moments, I think that we ended on probably the most powerful of them all, Ron's final blessing. And just watching that, it just resonates with me because as much as him and I went at it, I dearly, dearly miss him. And this is really a testament to how the current situation has impacted our family directly. But through it all, we're still here, you know.
Power's observation, America, in case you're unaware of it. March 18th, 2020, on the set, live, Ron Berninski, one of the most well-known LGBT Republican leaders in South Florida, mainstream Republican leaders in South Florida, is a host of It's Happening Out, and Power and Aaron and Josie could fight vigorously with Ron Berninski, and he, with them, he could hold his own. On March 18, 2020, those were his final closing words on that episode. The next day, he was diagnosed with COVID-19. The next day, he was hospitalized, went into ICU, and never returned, and passed. And is, for me, one of the first people in South Florida in the launch of this pandemic to die of COVID. And I don't think we have ever really recovered. And to all of those people who may criticize us at Happening Out Television for Q News Tonight, for It's Happening Out, for Gay Town Hall, when they go, gosh, you just sound so personal when you talk about COVID-19, it's because it's personal.
Yeah, because it is personal.
Yeah.
We've lost family to it, and we ask, should we? Because one of the greatest voices in South Florida for the Republican community said, even up until that final night on March 18, 2020, masks were not that important. And the reason he said that is because his president told him masks were not that important. So it's a big moment.
You know, Ron, if it's possible for you to be watching right now, I bet you never thought there'd be a day you'd see Aaron Phoenix shed a tear for your ass.
Yeah.
But you know what? The last conversation that we had on the show and off the show, Ron and myself, really there was a moment, a couple moments, where I felt like we got through to each other. There was something that we connected on, even though we vehemently disagreed on the subject matter of what we were talking about. And Ron, I just wish we had more opportunities to make those moments and to bridge those gaps and build those bridges. And you'll be the one I think of when I put up with some Republican rhetoric in the future, and you know, and just entertain those opinions. That's what this show has been all about, and it's been amazing because we can sit here across the table and not just kumbaya and not just echo each other, but really get deep, really get into the hard, tough, difficult, uncomfortable conversations. And you know, I love that kind of stuff. But it has opened up so many things. I've learned so much about myself. I can't believe how many times y'all have made me cry on this show, just in that flashback of 10 memories, let alone, you know, the course of the whole time. This has been all the makings of a family and all the makings of community.
Mo, you watched most of it as a fan and a viewer. What have you thought over the last 2 years?
It's a great show. I mean, I was there when we had the phone thrown at you, and I thought that was it was a pretty great show, actually.
I like
wow.
things get thrown out too.
So many people watch that meme. It's unbelievable how many people watch that.
I mean, that's where I said to myself, well, what good is a police officer? He should have arrested Joe right now.
I was going to say, that's absolutely
I was out of my jurisdiction, but, you know.
We've talked to Me Too. Cast members come out and admit on air, I was sexually abused, where they haven't done it. We've had those conversations. We've talked about extensively trans-related issues. We've talked about Black Lives Matter-related issues and systemic racism. We've talked about why women in our community don't support the LGBT community and why women are important in the LGBTQ community. We have stood up for countless organizations and events. We've kind of really reinvented the process of communication because we're a digital live video meme. We are a live video platform where you don't see it on a page that sits for days and days and days.
And let's talk about the live. Let's talk about the fact that we're live. I'm proud to say that of all the hosts at It's Happening Out, I am probably the one that has been the stone cold heart bitch that has not shed a tear, not cried, you know.
Jared Curry, can we roll it back? Because I remember at least one. I remember.
I don't think so. But
she don't recall.
What's really cool about this little project is that because it's live, the audience has been able to see things happen raw. We haven't had a chance to edit some of the stuff. So, like, you have seen Josie, who is usually so diplomatic, and she's so graceful. We've seen Josie lose it. We have seen Aaron lose it quite a few times. We've seen breakdowns. We have seen cackles and kikis. And then let's not even talk about the behind the scenes, the things that we have gone through. But still, after 2 years, we get on air every single week as a family and still manage to bring you entertainment, news, information, and fierceness every single week for 2 years. So I think that in and of itself is deserving of a lot of praise, and I thank God for the blessing of it's happening out. I'm serious about that.
One other thought here, for me, the number one LGBT event in my life is Pulse, and it's happening out. We showed what was going on inside the crisis center in Orlando. It's the only video in the world of what was going on in the crisis center at Pulse that morning after the shooting. And I shared texts that I had never shared before of what was going on over Eddie Sotomayor and Pulse. And so many people reached out to me afterwards, expressing how appreciative that they were that we had discussed Pulse in the way that we had done and revealed so much that they could not see, hear, or understand anyplace else. We knew the tragedy, we knew our sorrow, but the details of what really we felt and was going on from that perspective. And one last thought, we're going to move on to some other topics, but one last thought. I'm very proud to have been associated with the host. I'm sorry others could not be with us here tonight, Misty Eyes and Napoleon Plays for sure. We have had a wide variety of personalities. Power's an original cast member, and it wasn't long before Aaron came in. It's been a really good experience, and it's been a really good experience because you know what we've learned at It's Happening Out? It's all about people. I'll stop. It's all about people. Now, we think we do this better than anybody in America, and we do. And the proof of that is the compliment that we get from so many other people around the country. Aaron and Power are in Tampa Bay. We have there's a show like this in Tampa Bay. There's a show like this in Orlando. There's several shows here in South Florida like this. There are shows and put in the name of the city. Now we're up to about 50 shows like It's Happening Out. On September 20th, 2018, there was nothing like this. Nothing. And we have been the standard bearer. And the greatest compliment that I can make to the production staff of this show and to the hosts that were previously host of this show and are now host of this show is that we have 50 shows like this around the country. That says It's Happening Out is important. And what we say about them is you're important too.
Yes.
Because the more conversation in the LGBT community, the better.
Absolutely.
Period. That's it. And that's the greatest compliment you have made to the success of It's Happening Out and our 2-year anniversary. And we thank you for continuing to be loyal to us. Likely no one's ever going to see a 600,000 person number, ever. So we thank you for that. Let's continue on tonight. now that we've talked about the anniversary and played Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell is a lightning round of LGBT topics in the news this week and other headlines that we're going to provide gay perspective on. But it can only be done in our caveat 60 seconds. We continue to do this because I just love watching Power Infiniti and Aaron Phoenix try to dance in 60 seconds. And I don't mean that in a racist way in any way. I'm probably going to get some criticism for that. But in 60 seconds, guys, you got to tell this story or whatever you think. Everybody know? Ready for Saved by the Bell? And by the way, America, I have a bell. And so I'm going to ring it when we get to it so we can move on.
Would you like a medal or a chest to pin it on?
Exactly, that's right. All right, so headline, topic number 1 in Saved by the Bell. A Democrat who opposed equal marriage, has been defeated this week, and guess by who? A drag queen in a landslide victory. What do y'all think?
Well, I mean, karma's swift, ain't she? That's a...
That's it.
And goes to show, not everyone on the left is right. So.
Hello, that too.
All right, all right. Anything you want to add, or?
No, I don't have anything.
We're just happy.
Yep.
Okay, we'll accept that. All right, headline, story number 2. The Attorney General Barr, wanted to sue the lesbian mayor of Seattle over the BLM protests.
Does anybody else would like to go first? I guess not. So here's the thing about this whole protest thing. So the state of Florida actually just put out a bulletin, if you will, describing basically the new standards for criminal offenses that will be issued if you are involved in a protest. And the thing about these whole protests is the people who decide what's nonviolent or what's disorderly are not exactly people on our side. Let's just put it that way. So we're facing some really serious stuff. We're
and
facing
getting
felonies.
ready to get worse in the Supreme Court.
We're facing possible felonies just for participating in a peaceful, nonviolent protest. We're facing the potential for drivers who drive through protester crowds to not be held liable for any injuries or deaths. We're facing some really scary shit under Donald Trump's regime, and also under these, local municipalities and our state legislatures, especially Florida, Ron DeSantis, that are completely and literally taking away our rights to free speech.
We're done?
Etc.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to headline story number 3. Barbados in the Caribbean, very close to where Power's originally from, Trinidad and Tobago. Barbados, conservative in the Caribbean, I note. Barbados holds a referendum to recognize same-sex civil unions, and it passes.
Well, first of all, I'm not exactly sure if Barbados is close to Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago is 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. But that being said, it is part of the Caribbean. And in the Caribbean, as somebody that is from the Caribbean, I can tell you that this is a big deal, because in the Caribbean, homosexuality is not something that is looked upon nicely, favorably. They're not progressive on it. You can literally get chopped up with a machete if you are what's called a batiman. So for them to even consider this is a big step for this island nation, and let's hope that they step into the light. You could ring the bell.
Shall we be done? All right. We move into headline story number 4 this week. Disney, PlayStation, and Sky join 100 other companies in supporting trans rights.
This is a mixed bag of feelings for me, because y'all know I'm not usually the pro-corporation type. But this to me is a symbol of some shift happening. And that feels like such cliche words to say, but it's the truth. And, as we've seen gay life, if you will, be accepted and turned kind of mainstream by a lot of similar corporations, trans people are still facing a lot of shit. We're strong as hell because of what we are going through and have been through. So these corporations are not, in my personal opinion, are not necessarily doing the cool thing. It's still not cool to support and love and uplift trans women. It's still not cool to be a man, a straight man who dates trans women. It's still not cool to be non-binary and confusing. But these corporations, or at least the culture that they're fostering, are realizing that they need to be ahead of that curve of change.
And I would say even before the corporations, the military generals in this country were, when Donald Trump was attacking the trans and saying no trans in the military, the generals were saying, hey, we're good with trans in the military. He went against his generals because, of course, he's smarter and has a brain.
Mm.
We'll talk later in more than 90 seconds about that.
We'll move on to headline number 5, story 5 this week. Yeehaw! Lil Nas X is releasing not a new song, but a children's book.
Awesome.
Great.
He's also releasing a new fashion line that I believe benefits queer homeless youth. Lil Nas X is doing a lot of really cool shit for somebody
I think the issue here is for especially evangelical Christians, for somebody like Lil Nas who is out there on the spectrum for LGBT, black, gay, etc., might be considered effeminate, even offensive,
sexy, gorgeous,
right?
adorable.
Exactly. All right. It's very scary for the evangelical. The American Family Association, etc. That crowd, they're really scared of something like this.
Hence,
imagine how scared we are of them.
Good, great. Okay, absolutely. Headline number 6, story number 6 this week. Sarah McBride wins primary and is likely to be the first out trans state senator in the United States.
What's going on in Delaware? The first
there is
story was in Delaware.
Going
also
on in Delaware, yeah.
It's cold
When I first read this story, I thought we were talking about the singer that sings that song for the animals.
Sarah McLachlan?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Are you confusing your white people for each other, Power?
Yes, I was going to say, all white people do not look the same, Power.
I mean, some of them, though. There's something to be said, though. You know, Sarah McBride, awesome to you. I have not reviewed your platform, so I am not going to really comment too much one way or the other on that. I'll have to do my homework. But there is definitely something to be said for if you are a cis passing, as we say, white or white passing, as we say, trans person, there are places and spaces where you can gain access to privilege. That doesn't make you a bad person, but what it does say is you can use those platforms, we hope, to be able to make change for the people who are coming in behind you. So please do that.
I'm a little confused when you said you don't know a lot about platform, etc. I thought all trans people knew all trans people. It was like a little secret club.
Well, I thought all white people knew all white people, so why don't you know about it now?
Okay, all right. Headline number 7, topic 7 this week. Transsexual Satanist anarchist.
You don't have to call me names, I'm right here.
Exactly. Wins the GOP primary with the slogan, "Fuck the police." This was in New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
It was
the first.
It was the Satanist anarchist for me.
Anarchist, yes.
What
thoughts?
I'm so curious.
I have more problem with the Satanist anarchist than the slogan.
And the really funny joke is most of the people that voted for the candidate didn't know anything about the candidate, just voted because it was GOP. It was a red voting district, and won because it was GOP. And then the person said, hello, joke's on you, bam, and came out. That's what.
Wait, I don't understand what you're saying. But didn't he run with that slogan?
No.
Against a two-party system is what he was.
Yeah, in the two-party system, no. But he did not say "fuck the police" in advance as the campaign. He said it afterwards.
Oh,
you should have paid attention
that nobody
to who I was.
Studied and did their homework
and
to
they
see who they're voting for.
Homework of things that he had said, and as a result, he won.
So they got bamboozled.
And they got bamboozled.
And he disclosed after the fact. It's like, I did this because to show that the two-party system is.
So it's
whack.
like the flying spaghetti monster.
Exactly.
Exactly
awesome.
right.
I'm so for it.
Which I'm
there
a
we
beacon.
go. Now we got to it. All right, let's move out of our Saved by the Bell this week, and let's play another game. And we play a game that's fun, Shag, Marry, Chop. Now, this is the final game that we're going to play tonight, and we do it kind of again in celebration. This was an original game that we played on September 20th, 2018, and we have played it in every episode since.
We can't show it to you because the Secret Service is called.
That's exactly right. And we can't show you some parts of it because Power had us pulled off the air because the first night that we played this, or very, very early on, we played Shag, Marry, Chop with Donald Trump and his two sons.
We played Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Yes.
And they included Donald Trump.
And
that
we
was
played.
Not me. But interesting to note that the 2 games that have survived for the 2 years is a drinking game and a game of dick.
After we started saying the gays are more than drag,
right.
drinks, and dick, here we are.
Again,
drag,
I want to
drinks, and dick.
provide a soundbite to what Power just told you. On our initiation of It's Happening Out, we played Fuck, Marry, Kill. And I don't know whose idiot idea it was to use Donald Trump and the two sons, but bam, did the show crash because of it. And now it has become Shag, Marry, Chop. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop in celebration of our 2-year anniversary. And one of the things that we learned from all of these 2 years of consistently playing it in every episode is Power is thirsty as fuck. All right, so let's play. Any rebuttal?
Chop, please.
Right. All right, so this is a game that asks our host who and why and what they would like to do and what they're going to do with 3 different people. So let's play.
Oh my goodness.
Last time we celebrated bisexuality, it was with women. Tonight we're going to do it in honor of Celebrate Bisexuals Day. We're bringing in the hot bi guys. Tonight's subjects are Taylor Bennett, who is a rapper and brother of Chance the Rapper, Mike Mulderig, who gained fame on Lindsay Lohan Beach House, and then Daniel Newman, who was on The Walking Dead. Daniel Newman is next. There we go, and let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. And I'm curious, let's go to our guest host, retired Iraq and Afghanistan veteran and a law enforcement officer. Mo, who are you shagging?
I'm going to shag Taylor Bennett.
Taylor Bennett, okay.
Yeah, definitely, what a hottie. Marry, I am going to do Mike, because 2 military incomes, retirements are good. He's in the Navy, I believe.
You're marrying over the money, my goodness.
Well,
how long have you been a permanent host?
A military couple. I believe he's in the military because he does a lot of videos in a Navy uniform.
Okay, all right.
And I guess I'll chop the Walking Dead guy.
All right, very good. And Aaron, who are you going to shag tonight?
Okay, I guess.
Now first, I've got to tell a little joke because it's the first time Aaron's been sitting here on set. Aaron has become famous among all of the hosts and the fanatical viewers of It's Happening Out because Aaron has this consistent pattern of selecting his shag. I know.
I still forgive you.
Thank you.
Even after 2 years.
How many times have I done that mistake, by the way? Seriously.
I mean, I haven't seen you in 8 months, so very few recently.
Yeah, okay, all right, very good.
No, not as many as you think.
Yeah, well, I'm working on it, and I apologize, of course.
No worries.
But Aaron's shag is angry sex. There seems to be this theme of needing angry sex. So your angry sex shag is?
See, this is the problem. This is why I'm struggling with this one, because none of them really seem particularly passionate about it. But I definitely can see that
physically
Taylor...
abusive, or will spit on you or curse you out.
Physically abusive implies
non-consent. Slap your ass going.
So, with consent, it's not abuse. With consent, it's just sex. So, all right, I'm going to say Taylor Bennett looks like he's more stoic. He's probably got something brewing under there. So I guess I'm going to shag him. And I'm going to marry no one because single life sounds good right about now. And I'm going to chop the other 2.
Child, at 2 years, you're not going to pull what we call affectionately in production a Power Infiniti.
Oh, I'm not
by the rules.
Infinity girl.
Who do you like, Mike or Daniel?
For the marriage. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll marry Daniel. He's got harder looking abs.
Well, he also has a nicer looking sweat.
And as we said, when it's long, It's important.
Yeah.
And they're coming up on
he
sweatpants
is.
season.
Ooh, man, he is looking pretty there. All right, so our final Shag, Marry, Chop in our first 2 years of It's Happening Out Power, and I'm going to insist you play by the rules. Who are you, Shag?
Well, you're going to be severely disappointed because as a OG from the original cast, I am pulling a Power production, I'll do what I want this anniversary move. So I am going to shag Daniel Newman because that ginger hottie is everything. Now that Mo has revealed to me that Mike Mulderig is in the military, I'm gonna marry him too because he can practice all his military moves on me, arrest me if he wants, choke me out, whatever he needs to do to get ready for combat. It's all he can practice on me. And I am going to chop the chopping option and still let Taylor Bennett do me all the way to the moon and back. So that's my shag marry.
All right.
It doesn't count if you're the Shag-E instead of the Shagger.
Yeah, that's it. All right, that's our game, Shag, Marry, Chop. All right, the last thing that we're going to do tonight is we're going to do a little retraction. Tonight we report that Wilton Manors, South Florida log cabin Republicans have lodged a complaint to the executive producer of Happening Out Television Network about me. I, according to their president, aired when I spoke about It's Happening Out host that threw a mic pack in a storm off the show moment. It seems very important to note, according to the local president of the Log Cabin Republicans, that he was a member of the Washington Log Cabin Republicans, not South Florida. So as to not be fake news, I stand corrected. The Trump-supporting host of It's Happening Out stormed off the live show after being crushed by me and the other host in comparisons of his hypocrisy. And then he threw a mic pack at me, missed, and hit Power Infiniti. We showed it as a live-action meme that was seen by tens of thousands of people, thankfully. And to be clear, he was not a member of the South Florida chapter of the Log Cabin Republicans, but the Washington chapter. We regret that the incorrect information was disseminated. We, however, invite the South Florida Log Cabin Republicans to join me whenever they're ready to discuss the news of the day. I am quite capable of whipping your ass. However, I can't help but wonder what Donald Trump would think when he sees this correction. Vote on November 3rd, 2020. Anybody have any observations?
Wait.
on my retraction?
So after, okay, so over the
I
past
definitely
4
want to say
years,
something after.
Republicans wanted to correct a statement and a falsehood, and that's the one they went with? That's the one that's the hill they're going to die on.
So is that like saying, no, we're from the Hitler Youth in Berlin, not from Ramstein?
It's interesting to note that we here, Al did what he was supposed to do. When you make a mistake, when you speak incorrectly about something, you own it and, you know, come out and correct yourself and make that statement. That's what you're supposed to do. I would like to lodge a complaint against the South Florida Log Cabin Republicans, whatever their name is, for the fact that their president has made many incorrect statements. He has been transphobic. He has compared Michelle Obama to a man and actually has pushed and propelled the conspiracy theory that she is actually a man and that her children are not her own. That's something that I would like to lodge a complaint. That doesn't look good for your entire organization. That was done by your president, who used to be a host here. Also the fact that he claims to be very pro-Jewish, but in our group page, he attacked a Jewish member of the group page because he thought that the member of the group page was Muslim because he saw the way that the person spelled their name, and the person spelled their name in Hebrew. In his ignorance, he thought it was Muslim or Arabic or whatever, and he attacked the person and told him that in this country we only speak English. First of all, you don't speak for the country, you don't speak for how we speak in this country. You don't get to dictate that.
And we were speaking
that
Aztec
is
languages
bigoted.
before English.
So I would like to lodge a complaint. Will you guys be going publicly and making a retraction or apology for that? No, you wouldn't, because we rose above. when they go low, we go high.
We go high. I love that. I love that. Any other final thoughts? Because we're tight on time.
Yeah, that you can go high and you can still go petty, and I love that.
That's right.
All right. Well, I did my job, and thank you for the acknowledgement. And of course, I'm going to leave the last words to my friends here as host of It's Happening Out. Before we end our show, we want to thank Jet's Pizza. They have been a sponsor with us for a long, long time. We're getting ready to eat some wonderful Jet Pizza with candles on it to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. And as always, we end our show with a good night, and we invite the host to participate. Mo, let's start with you.
Good night. Thank you for having me. Everyone, let's just love each other. Let's drop the hate. Our time on here is too short to be hating anybody. So.
And my friend Aaron Phoenix.
Well, good night, folks. I can't believe it's been 2 years, and I can't believe just all of the amazing ups, downs, in-betweens, and moments, and just awesome moments that we've had. I've learned so much about myself. I hope you've learned a lot about yourself. I love the fact that every week, even after 2 years, we still somehow manage to find more things to learn about each other. Absolutely. And sometimes a little more than we ever wanted to.
Yeah, that's a great observation.
Good night, y'all.
And before I turn it over to Power, I have to say in July of 2018, I went to the Sawmill Resort with all of the production staff and the initial host of It's Happening Out, including Power and I tonight. And we learned a lot about each other, and we blazed new ground. This was something that had never been done before. So our final good night tonight on our 2-year anniversary goes to my friend Power Infiniti.
Good night, children. I would like to emphasize that October 5th is the deadline to register to vote in Florida. October 24th through the 31st starts early voting in Florida. Please, please get registered to vote, and please, please get your friends together and make sure that you vote. This is the vote. This is the election of a lifetime. Thank you.
And America, we can only do nothing more than thank you. When we started on September 20th, 2018, we had no idea what we were doing. When we completed the first episode of It's Happening Out on September 18, 2020, if you go back and look at it, it is in the same caliber as the first season of RuPaul's Drag Race. Why you so bright, Miss RuPaul? It was, I want to use the word horrendous, but that might not be harsh enough. We've improved a lot. We talk about everything. And we are the lens of the LGBT community in live video. I'll stop. And we thank you for participating. The proof I've already told you in terms of all of the people that have started shows like this all over the country. We thank you for doing that, and we respect you for doing it. But most importantly of all, we thank those that watch us, and that is you. Over the course of the last 24 months, literally millions of you have watched It's Happening Out. Not only in South Florida, not only in Florida, not only in America, but all over the world. And we thank you for that. And that will be our challenge next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. as we start all over again. Because remember, if it's important to you, it's important at It's Happening Out. And we'll be here for you. Good night, America.